Welcome back. President Bongbong Marcos's trust rating strongly recovers, rising by 10 percentage points to 48%. But Vice President Sara Duterte remains the most trusted official. Let's get on point with Stratbase ADR Institute President, Professor Dindo Manhit. Professor Dindo, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for the invitation, Pinky.
Walk us through how this trust rating survey was conducted.
We wanted that as we enter the third year of this administration, as we have ended also the midterm elections, to see how do we look at trust with regards to our key political leaders. Because for Stratbase, since 2004, have always focused on the concept of trust, because you cannot perform well, you cannot implement reforms if people don't trust you. So we felt it's good to see where they are. And what surprised us is really the rebound of President Bongbong Marcos. And we see a 10-point increase. And maybe this is reflective on two things for me. One, less political noise. And with this less political noise, the government was able to communicate the different initiatives or programs that is actually being implemented and executed in different parts of the country. So it's people might be feeling that kind of interventions by our government also.
Is it possible, though, Professor Dindo, that come at midterm or, the third year of any president, any sitting president, dun talaga nararamdaman more the programs and the policies of the administration?
It's also possible because at times when you look at the challenges of day-to-day life, and in our case, it's really about presyo ng bilihin, sabi nga nila, trabaho, kita, that is wages, people tend to forget that there are programs that are meant to intervene in behalf of the government as taxpayers that they should benefit. Maybe it took some time for public to appreciate. And hopefully, this appreciation turns into a political capital for our president going into his last 3 years.
Because this is only the second time this year that the president's trust rating rose. First from 36% in April to 38% in May. So that's 2 percentage points. And then this big increase from 38% to 48% in June. To what do you attribute this sudden 10-point increase?
That one, I feel really strongly the elections have challenged in terms of the president, in terms of the communication part. He has been placed in a defensive since the arrest of President Duterte in March 11. And that kind of political noise will affect how people perceive the president. And maybe June, and in this case, we ran the survey with our partner Social Weather Station in the last week of June, when I think people were not expecting surveys were being run. But we simply wanted to see where the president and other leaders stand. And that's a good sign that there's an impact on the part of the president. There's this sudden look at he has improved, and maybe his performance will also be affected by this trust rating in a positive.
But what were the headlines that you can share with us during the time that the survey was taken to be able to have, I guess, a better understanding on this 10 percentage point increase?
For me, it's not really mere headline. It could even be post-election initiative by our own government to communicate, to move forward with some of their programs, like the rice subsidy, been a good intervention on the part of the president. Different programs that continue to be out there from different social programs. So I feel, and of course, the strong stance on the government as they continue to show that they will assert our rights and stand up on our sovereignty. These are all positive initiatives by government, and people value that. They see that.
Do you actually see a sustained upward trend forming?
That is now the challenge. They need an upward trend because as you enter your next 3 years, people expect that you might be a lame duck president. A strong rating, both in trust and performance, is what you need to show that in 2028, as an incumbent president, you matter.
Yeah, yeah. Vice President Sara Duterte's trust rating slightly rose from 60% to 61%. What do you think of the VP continuing to enjoy strong public trust?
The vice president got a boost after the arrest of former President Duterte. The sympathy translated to stronger support and sympathy also to her. No? So now the challenge is on the part of Vice President Sara is, can she sustain this given that if there is an impeachment that might proceed?
Mhm.
So the
Here-
challenge really is, how does she answer a lot of those accusations that will not affect her trust rating?
Here's the thing, Professor. In also a new SWS survey, the majority, or 66 rather percent, also want the VP to answer the impeachment charges against her. How do you understand that? That the vice president is trusted. She's still at 61% from 60%. Yet there's a survey also saying majority want the want her to answer this impeachment complaint.
These are the same respondents. So the thinking of the same respondents that gave her 60%, 61% trust rating is that she needs to be accountable for those accusations.
What does that mean? Does that mean 61% of the people trust her, but that 61% rose to 66%, saying that we want you to answer the impeachment complaint against you?
Yes, because they're not saying she's guilty, but the trust is premised on that there is nothing wrong with what she did in the past, that this may be simply politics, or if she avoids to answer it, or she has failed to answer it, based on the evidences, it might affect the trust rating of the public.
So there's really that interest to be able to answer
Yes.
the impeachment complaint. What about Senate President Chis Escudero's trust rating? Also up 55%. That of House Speaker Martin Romualdez rose also from 26% to 34%. Again, what do you attribute this to?
You have to give credit to the 19th Congress. There are a lot of initiatives that turned into reform legislation, from Procurement Act to reforms in tax like the train law, the amendment to the train law. So these are initiatives that we see value. Maybe the people are seeing value of now. The noise of the elections are over. What they remember last June is the accomplishment of both houses. And there are good accomplishments. So it's good for them to sustain it, to sustain this performance from both legislatures.
All right. Stratbase ADR Institute President Dindo Manhit. Professor Dindo, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
And that's On Point. Join us again on Monday at 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.